Hello everyone, welcome to Digital Learning DCE. Myself Dr. Manjula S, Associate Professor of Botany, working in Government First Grade College, Chennapatna. Dear students, in this session, let us study about diversity of habitat and pigmentation in algae. Let me begin with the introductory part. That is, as we all know, algae shows immense diversity with respect to their size, structure, habitat, pigmentation, and reproduction. They are economically and ecologically very important organisms since they have the ability to adapt and allow them to inhabit. They exhibit a wide range of environment and there are more than 3,000 species of algae which are found in different habitats. Aquatic forms are the most common one, which are usually found in freshwater bodies like ponds, ditches, rivers, and springs. Along with that, there are some terrestrial algae which are preferred to grow on wet or moist soil. They also found in extreme environmental conditions like snow, rocks, and even within a plant and animal bodies as endobionts. They are also present in aerial habitats like bark of the tree. Sometimes they also found in deserts, moist soils, and even in hot springs. So, with that introductory part, let us study about the classification of algae based on their habitat. As we all know, habitat is a place where the organism is going to exist or present or occur. So, based on their habitat, generally algae are classified into three types: aquatic algae, terrestrial algae, and algae of unusual habitats. The aquatic algae are the group of algae which are preferred to live in water bodies. Either they may be freshwater or marine water. So, the algae which are living in water bodies are referred as aquatic algae. Coming to the second type, that is terrestrial algae, they prefer to grow or live in or on the moist soil or wet soil. And the third category of algae based on their habitat, that is algae of unusual habitat, which are generally found on snow, rock, hot springs, the ice salt concentration, and inside animal body and also on plants, etc. Here we can say all the three different categories of algae based on their habitat. These in this picture we can see the aquatic algae, and this is the terrestrial algae, and this is of algae of unusual habitat where we can see the algal mat on a ice. Coming to aquatic algae. Let us study the aquatic algae in detail. So, majority of the algae, as we all know, that too about 90% of the algae are aquatic in nature. That means they usually found in water bodies. So, on the basis of nature of water, where they are going to occur or present, these aquatic algae are of two types. As I already told, they are growing in fresh water. They are called as freshwater algae. If they are growing in salt water, they are referred as marine algae. So, on the basis of nature of water, aquatic algae are generally categorized into two types: freshwater algae and the second category is marine algae. The members of chlorophyceae, charophyceae, and cyanophyceae, that means green algae, blue-green algae, and yellow algae. They prefer to grow in freshwater bodies like ponds, rivers, ditches, streams, etc. Example for freshwater algae includes the chara. In this diagram, we can see the chara, which is growing in a freshwater bodies, and also volvox and elothrix. They are the example for freshwater algae. Then second category in aquatic algae, that is marine algae. The marine algae are those algae which live in seawater or the water which is concentrated with salt. It includes most of the members of Phycology, that means brown algae or red algae. Example for marine algae includes Ectocarpus, Fucus, Laminaria, and Sargassum. Here we can see the Sargassum, which is an example of marine algae. Here we can see some of the brown algae and red algae along with the green algae. Coming to the aquatic algae, again, the aquatic algae are of two types. benthophytes and planktophytes. So, if the algae are found in attached to the floor of the water body, those type of at the bottom of the water body, that is said to be benthophytes. They are otherwise known as bottom dwellers or benthic algae, and the freshwater forms such as Chiara and Nitella, almost all brown algae are found attached to the substratum in the bottom of the water, floor of the water body. So those type of algae are referred as benthophytes. And the second category is planktophytes. The algae which grow or float on the surface of the water are referred as planktonic forms or planktophytes, which generally includes some of the diatoms, microcystis, pediastrum, volvox, and chlamydomonas. Here we can see benthophytes, which are attached to the floor of the water body. Here we can see the planktophytes or planktonic forms, example like volvox and pediastrum, which are preferred to float on the surface of the water since they are lightweight in their uh, structure. Coming to the second category of algae, that is terrestrial algae. They are also known as edapophytes. They that live on land rather than aquatic ecosystem or aquatic environment. They prefer to grow on a moist soil or wet soil, tree bark, damp wood, rocks, and also on a cliffs. Some species adapted to survive in extreme environments like deserts also. Example for that is Wacheria, Euglena, and Botridium. And terrestrial algae can be further categorized into two types, sapophytes and cryptophytes. Sapophytes are the group of algae which are living on dead and decaying organic matter, where there is more nutrient. Dead organic matter is there. The algae which prefer to grow on those organic matter, those are referred as saprophytes, whereas cryptophytes are found within, embedded within the soil, and they involved in nitrogen fixation. Here we can see the different types of algae, different types of terrestrial algae. Coming to the third category, that is algae of unusual habitat. So, based on their location, other than aquatic as well as terrestrial, if they exist in other habitats, those are referred as algae of unusual habitat. So, based on their existence or presence, the algae of unusual habitats are studied under different headings. The first one is lithophytes. Lithophytes are a group of algae which are found attached to stones or rocky surfaces or rocky areas. Those are referred as lithophytes. Example for lithophytes, Rivularia, Glyocapsa, and diatoms. And the second category under unusual habit, that is halophytes. As the name itself indicates, halophytes are a group of algae which occur in saline water or more salt concentrated water. Example for such type is Duniliella, Chlamydomonas, and Stephanophyra. So here we can see the Duniliella, which is a halophyte, and lithophytes are the algae which are growing on stone as well as rock. Coming to third category under unusual habitat, that is epiphytes. Epiphytes are group of algae which found attached on other algae or other higher plants. The algae which are growing on other plants, those are referred as epiphyte. Epi means above, phyta means plants. The algae which are growing on the surface of the plants are referred as epiphytes. Example for epiphytes, epiphytic algae are Bulbocete, Edogonium, and Cephalorus, Rivularia. Then coming to fourth category under unusual habitat, that is thermophytes. Thermophytes are the group of algae which are reported from hot springs, which can tolerate the extreme temperature up to 70 degrees Celsius or more than that. Those are referred as thermophilic algae or thermophytes. Example for that is Oscillatories members. Here we can see some of the epiphytes which are growing on another plant body, bark of the tree. So these are referred as epiphytes. And this in this picture, we can see the thermophytes, which are found in hot springs. Coming to the fifth category under unusual habitat, that is cryptophytes. Cryptophytes are a group of algae which are found on ice or snow. which are giving a characteristic color to the eyes. Green. Here we can see the eyes is exhibiting green color due to the growth of algae. So these forms impart their own color to the snow or mountains wherever they occur, like red, pink, purple, yellow, the pigment which they contain. They will impart that particular color to the substratum or highs. So example for such type of categories of algae, that is cryptophytes, includes Haematococcus, Chlamydomonas, Protoderma, and Chloromonas. So these are some of the examples for cryptophytes. Then coming to sixth category of unusual habitat of algae, that is symbionts or endophytic algae. So symbiosis is a phenomenon of the two organisms are living together without affecting one another, where both of them are mutually getting benefited. The many members of algae are found living in symbiotic association with plants or other animals, like a nostoc, which is living inside the thallus of Anthoceros, which is a bryophyte. Inside the thallus of bryophyte nostoc living symbiotically. Likewise, the anabina, which is a blue-green alga, which is living inside the coralloid roots of cycas, and anabina also found in a smallest fern called Pteridophyte azula. Likewise, it's in symbiotic association, the algae living with fungi, that is referred as lichens. Chlorella and Azotobacter on the nitrogen fixing nodule of leguminous plants. They are living symbiotically inside the root nodules of leguminous plants. Here we can see some of the association. This is a coralloid root of cycas, where we can show we can see anabina fragments. Likewise, this is lichens, which is an example for symbiotic association. Then coming to the seventh category under unusual habitat, endozoic algae. Certain algae occur inside the body of animals. Endo means inside, zoic means animal body. The group of algae which occur inside the animal body are referred as endozoic algae. Example include zooxanthella, which is going to live or which is observed inside the freshwater sponges. Likewise, zoochlorella is found inside the hydra. Eighth category under algae of unusual habitat, that is parasites. Some algae, they are going to live on a plant. They mainly depend on the plants for their food, and other plants. They are termed as parasites. Example for parasitic algae, Cephaloreus, which grows on the leaves of angiospermic leaves. Likewise, Oscillatoria and Simonicella. They are found as parasites on man and also in the intestine of animals. So these are referred as the parasitic algae. Endozoic algae inside hydra. We can see that some species of algae growing inside the body of hydra. Those are referred as endozoic algae. Here we can see the cephaloreus growing on coffee plant, causing a disease in coffee. Uh, so with this, that is about the habitat of algae. After that, now let us study about the pigmentation in algae. So pigmentation is nothing but the studying of the coloring substance, the particular the substance which will responsible for the coloring of the thallus is referred as the pigments. So let us study the pigmentation in algae. So algal cell have characteristic color due to the presence of combination of various pigments, which are very specific to each class. So based on their color, the algae are generally divided into different class like green algae, red algae, yellow algae, and blue-green algae. So based on the pigments present found inside. The algae shows great diversity with respect to their pigmentation. So different groups of algae have different and specific pigment composition, which we are going to study in a coming slides. The pigments found in a specialized plastids. These coloring substances are going to be present inside a specialized organelle plastid called chromophores. Distribution pattern of pigment has great taxonomic significance. That means they play a very important role in classification of algae. The best example for the taxonomic significance, that is classification of algae proposed by Frisch in the year 1947, is mainly or primarily based on the algal pigments. All major algal groups have at least one characteristic pigments in their cell. So let us study the pigmentation in algae. The pigments in algae, present in algae, generally categorized into three major groups. That is, first one is chlorophyll. The second type of pigments are carotenoids, which includes carotenes and xanthophylls. And the third type of pigment, that is phycobilins. So here we can see the various pigments like the chlorophyll, which is mainly green in color, carotenoids, either orange pigments, and phycobilins. This is yellow color pigments. So like that, xanthophylls are yellow color pigments. Here we can see different types of pigments isolated from different groups or classes of algae. Coming to, let us study each pigment in detail. Chlorophylls. The chlorophylls are fats. They are the green color pigments. They are mainly responsible for the imparting green color to the thallus or plant body of an algae. Where chlorophylls are fat soluble green pigments. They are chlorines which absorb blue region and reflect the green light. These are responsible for the green color of algae and other higher plants. There are five different types of chlorophylls observed in a group of algae. So those are chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D, and chlorophyll E. Coming to a distribution of different chlorophylls in different algal groups. Chlorophyll, I told chlorophylls are mainly five types. Chlorophyll A mainly present in all groups of algae, all classes of algae. Along with this, other pigments are in various combinations. Then chlorophyll B. Chlorophyll B is present in chlorophyceae, generally called as green algae, and euglenophyceae. Both of them are green algae. One is little bit lighter in color and one is little darker in color. Then the third type of chlorophyll, that is chlorophyll C, present in Phaeophyceae. Phaeophyceae are commonly called as brown algae. Cryptophyceae are called as Cryptophyceae golden brown algae, and Basilarophyceae are otherwise known as yellow-green algae. So chlorophyll C is generally present in Phaeophyceae, Cryptophyceae, Chrysophyceae, and Basilarophyceae. Whereas chlorophyll D is present in members of Rhodophyceae, which are commonly called as red algae. Chlorophyll E present in Xanthophyceae. Xanthophyceae are generally called as the yellow algae, and chlorophyll F is recently discovered pigment found in which are going to chlorophyll from stromatolites. So these are various types of chlorophyll pigments present in different classes of algae. Coming to the second type of pigment, that is carotenoids. Carotenoids are fat-soluble yellow pigments found in close association with chlorophylls. They protect chlorophyll from photo damage. The chemically carotenoids are tetraterpenoids. And the carotenoids are present in almost all algal groups. All carotenoids are strong antioxidants. There are two types of carotenoids like carotenes and xanthophylls. These are the different carotenoids from microalgae. We can see different carotenoids. I told carotenoids are of two types, carotenes and xanthophylls. The carotenes are yellow colored pigments. They are unsaturated fat soluble hydrocarbons. They do not contain oxygen. They absorb blue and green light and transmit yellow and red light. Example, alpha carotene and beta carotene and lycopene are the different types of carotenes. Beta carotene is present in most of the class, while alpha carotene is found in color pales and chlorophyceae, and to some extent in rhodophyceae also, whereas lycopene is present in caryls. So these are the different types of carotenes. Coming to the xanthophylls, which is a type of carotenoid. Xanthophyll is also called as the carotylose. They are oxygen derivatives of carotene. Example, lutein, fucoxanthin, diatoxanthin, Taraxanthin and myxoxanthin are examples of different types of xanthophylls. They are found in members of Chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae, Rhodophyceae, Basileophyceae, Myxophyceae, which are commonly called as blue-green algae, and Chrysophyceae. Fucoxanthin is the main xanthophyll pigment present in brown algae, Phaeophyceae, brown algae. And here we can see the xanthophyll. I told they are either orangish or yellowish in color. Coming to phycobilins are water-soluble pigments. They always bonded with some water-soluble proteins called phycobilin proteins. They are blue or red in color, either blue or red in color. They are present in Cyanophyceae or a red algae. They emit orange or red light after fluorescence. And there are generally two categories of phycobilins, phycocyanin, which is a blue pigment, and phycoerythrin, which is a light pigment. These two are the major pigments along with chlorophyll mainly observed in case of blue-green algae, cyanophyceae members or myxophyceae members. Coming to the fourth category, that is phycocyanin. Phycocyanin are blue colored pigments. They absorb green, yellow, or red light and transmit blue color. And phycocyanins are the principal pigments of blue-green algae, like anabina, nostoc, all those categories we say this phycocyanin. Coming to the second type, that is phycoerythrin. Phycoerythrin are red color pigments. They absorb blue, green, and yellow light and transmit red light. Hence, phycoerythrin present abundantly in members of Rhodophyceae, which are commonly called as red algae. Polysiphonia is an example which contain phycoerythrin as major pigment. In this slide, we can observe uh, different types of pigments present in different category of different groups of algae. So in the left side, we can observe the algal groups. In the right side, we can see different combination of pigments. The chlorophyceae, which are commonly called as green algae, they contain chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, beta carotene, and xanthophylls as a combination of pigments. Whereas xanthophyceae, commonly called as yellow algae, it contains chlorophyll A, beta carotene, and xanthophylls. Basileophyceae, or otherwise known as yellow-green algae, are diatoms which generally contain chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, and beta carotene. Phaeophyceae, commonly called as brown algae, they contain chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, fucoxanthin, beta carotene, and xanthophylls in various combinations. Whereas rhodophyceae, which are commonly called as red algae, they contain the combinations of pigments like chlorophyll A, chlorophyll D, beta carotene, phycoerythrin, and phycocyanin. Or myxophyceae, which are otherwise known as cyanophyceae, are commonly called as blue-green algae. They have the combination of pigments like chlorophyll A, beta carotene, phycocyanin, and phycoerythrin in different composition. So with this, I'm going to conclude the present session. That is pigmentation and habitat, diversity in their habitat. For further details about the current topic, you can refer the following references. Thank you.